to that. And gentlemen, let me just start with you, Honorable Nyonka. I mean, 3 a.m., it's now 7:13 a.m. and the fire is still spreading. Fire brigaders are still trying to do all they can. And what message are we sending in terms of preparedness?
Okay, I'll tell you the truth. We have never been prepared for anything. I remember in one of the, again, committees in Parliament, which was discussing how prepared we are to disaster in our country. To be sincere with you, the team that has been given the responsibility of preparedness on even dealing with a fire, you remember this came out after the collapse of the buildings in Nairobi. It was about, I think, a year ago. When we were asking the teams about how prepared are we, they were just looking at us like, what are you people talking about? There is nothing you can actually discuss. The group had one firefighting truck, the equipment that would carry heavy loads and machines. They were saying what we do is we usually contact either National Youth Service or any other department which may have those things functional. Some of them sometimes don't even have fuel. Not that the government doesn't allocate money for fuel and for maintenance of these vehicles. I would have thought by now the governor of Nairobi County would be at site. We should be seeing what he's doing about it with his teams, because this is his purview. This city is run by Sonko. Most likely he's not around. Or if he's not, his officers should be there. I hope they are there. All right, I really hope that they're there. But again, I think the major question we need to ask ourselves is very simple. These fires in marketplaces always come up, whether it's Kikomba, whether it is Toy, and most probably what usually happens is that you're going to find out later, the story comes out, that somebody is most probably trying to acquire this land, which could have been public land. And
when you talk about somebody trying to acquire this public land,
by chasing away
the traders,
the traders.
Are we looking at a place whereby it's a high time even traders started, fighting for their legal rights? Because it's not the first time fire is being reported in Toy Market. This is the third time. Gikomba Heights just been rampant. It's just like every year you're waiting. Okay, so when is Gikomba going to start burning?
Become a permanent?
Yes, know, and year in, year out, you hear county government saying this, the government saying this, giving promises. Is that, have traders reached that point where they know their legal right when it comes to operations?
Of course, most of them are aware, but then the question is, do they have any right over do they have any claim over the land? And if so, what have they done about it? Is there any other person who has a claim over the land? And if so, what have he or she done about it? Of course, there have been wrangles over land in Nairobi especially. We've seen legitimate traders who have been disposed of their properties. We've also seen the encroachment of private property by people who are out to, desperately trying to make a living. But on the aspect of firefighting or fire safety, what I'd like to say, and I'd like to pass a challenge here to Mheshimiwa and his colleagues in Parliament, I think it is a high time we passed a Fire Safety Act. We should have, we have settlements coming up all over the country. We have story buildings coming up all over the country that accommodate hundreds of people. Yet you won't find a single fire extinguisher in such buildings. The caretaker has no firefighting skills. Go to our homes, go to our businesses. We don't have fire extinguishers. Look at Nairobi County, for example. We have about not more than 5 firefighting engines.
And recently we added some.
Yeah, and of course you'll be told they have run out of water.
Yes.
You'll be told
there's always a story behind it.
Yes.
Okay.
Late response. If you go to other cities around the world, New York, London, firefighting or fire safety is a priority. And it is a high time we made it a priority in Kenya.
Okay, yes. That's a challenge that has been passed to you.
I agree. I will tell you, one of the things that happens in that house where we are is actually mind-boggling. You'll sit there and you'll see people pontificating and discussing this, and they'll say, by the way, and this is going to be discussed today on the floor. Immediately the fire is out, and after 2 days, nobody's going to discuss
forget about it. Okay.
When you tell people, why are we not able to allocate money to buy equipment so that when we have a disaster, we can fix it? Everybody will tell you, I don't think that's our priority for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's move away from that developing story. That is the fire incident that's been reported in Toy Market that started at 3 a.m.